And welcome back to the Port Hawkesbury Civic Center for this contest in the U16 AAA Maritime Hockey Championship between the hometown Cabot Highlanders and the visiting Western Rebels out of PEI. The Rebels won their game earlier today against the Dukes, an overtime victory after a comeback in the third, 4-3. Their record is now 1 win and 1 overtime win. The Highlanders 1 regulation win and 1 overtime loss. So if the Highlanders are able to win this hockey game in regulation, they will take over first place position in the standings for the tournament heading into tomorrow's matchups. As that draw won by Cabot to start things off. Dumped in the zone. Davidson making chase in the offensive zone, trying to get that loose puck. And then your Wall here trying to take out there. Fired off. Davidson gets a hold of it, rips a shot and a quick glove save there to start things off for the Rebels goaltender as Davidson absolutely ripped that one to that glove hand side. Got a lot of looks at that puck earlier in the day yesterday rather, in the game against the Thunderbirds, which was a 5-2 victory for the Cabot Highlanders. Davidson, one of the more effective players on the ice there, leading the team in scoring through the regular season with 36 points in 35 games played. This game, of course, brought to you by Tim Hortons in Port Hawkesbury as our game sponsor. Thank them for supporting local hockey as the Highlanders set up in the offensive zone. Shot off the draw, stopped another shot there, stopped in front. Hack and whack there onto the point to McGinnis, across. Shot there from distance, that's blocked in front as the Rebels look to clear. Cabot looking to enforce their will with the physical play early here. As Western Rebels look to advance off the boards. To neutral zone ice here, Malcolm James trying to get it. Here come the Highlanders in, shot, score! And the Highlanders open the scoring here. Just 41 seconds into the first period of play. And it's Aiden J. McDonald with the goal, number 17. Ripped it just under the bar on that glove hand side. Getting the hometown crowd into the game right away here are the Highlanders. Looking to waste no time in getting on the board. And looking to continue that pace here throughout. Unassisted is the goal. A hard check there on Aiden Bowie as out comes Reddick down the left wing side. Trying to pass in front. And Bowie not able to get a stick on that as it hit its skate onto the point to Boyd. Moves it across to the other point. Shot there from distance. Deflected wide. Held at the line there. Moved across. Taken by Davidson now. Across there. Chipped in by Reddick. Onto the point there. Moved out. And shoveled back in there by the Highlanders. Held behind the goal. Moved across by the Rebels trying to exit the zone here. Highlanders looking to shut down those passing lanes, take away the center of the ice as that's backhanded in deep there for the Rebels. And they get a partial line change as Mills goes off the ice for a change up. Good battle for the puck here in the offensive zone for the Rebels. Trying to get a hold of that. That's off the neutral zone battle here as moving ahead there was Jacob Hebb trying to get a shot away. But it's taken away here by the Rebels. Moving it across. Trainer dumps it in. Stopped up by Mason Doucette, who gets a start and goal for Cabot, and a close chance there in front of the net. That's almost a defensive lapse there by the Cabot Highlanders. A hard check there as Landry took the body. Number 16, the Highlanders captain. That shot from distance goes behind the goal. Chasing after it now is Campbell. Owen Campbell off the boards, looking to clear. Kept alive there by Toombs. Onto the stick of Landry. Landry looking at a clearing pass. Off the boards, picked up there in an intercept. A shot there from distance. That was deflected wide. As it's moved ahead here for Cabot. Onto the wing, dumping it in, down the ice. That's going to be icing here against the Highlanders to start things off in the first. We'll go down to their zone here for this face-off. I'd like to thank always, of course, our silver sponsor, Steel Mac. as well as the presenting sponsors for the tournament, Home Harbor and the Mac Group out of Port Hawkesbury, Port Hood, and Waikagama on this draw. Chesson looking to hold that line. It goes out there. Full line change here for the Highlanders. Looking to catch them sleeping. A long distance pass there by the goaltender as it goes down the ice here. Taken by Landry behind the goal. Off the boards, chipped there by McGinnis, trying to clear it. Off the boards. Fired back in there for the Highlanders. Good battle on the wall here. Trying to clear it in front, taken there by Landry. Moves aside, trying to find an open man. He skates through neutral zone ice and fires it towards the net. And Marash forced to make a pad save there as Sam Marash, number 35, getting the start in goal for the Rebels. As working behind the goal, chipping it out to neutral zone ice through the feet of John Hugh McGinnis here as he chases after it in the corner. Great skater, John Hugh McGinnis, knows how to stick handle as well. He lost control of that one for a moment. That's tipped out by King, who goes for a line change. And looking to catch them sleeping here are the Rebels. Moving in wide is Oatway. Dumps it in around the boards for the Rebels. Looking to get things started on the cycle play here. Forcing a turnover. Into the corner as Oliver gets a hold of it. Davidson now with the puck. Ryan Davidson down the left wing side, chips it in. Chases after it. Always a physical presence on the ice. Uses his speed to his advantage and not afraid to take the body. Shot there tipped on goal and rebound cleared away, but taken away by McGinnis and fanning on that shot as he lost control of that puck. And now out comes Toombs the other way. Skating in through the center of the ice area. Shot there on goal and covered there by Doucette for the whistle. Good back and forth to start things off here in this hockey game. Mills on the draw here for the Rebels. Draw one to the point to Collins. Collins waits, shoots there, tipped, and that's blocked in front by the Cabot defense. Backing around behind it goes. Arsenault takes a hit there on the wall. Shot from a sharp angle there, stopped, and that goes out to neutral zone ice. Holding on to it there was Collins. He dumped it in around the boards, and Landry makes chase in the corner. Trying to drop it off there to McDonald. Campbell turning after it in the corner. Off the point to Collins now. Collins can't hold the line. He dumps it in again, but it's blocked by McDonald in the neutral zone ice. Looking to advance here is Collins down the wings. Drops it off in front. And a good back check there by Reddick, who gets a hold of the puck. Moving it free from McDonald. McDonald stops it up, chips it off the glass, and out to neutral zone ice. It's a one-on-one play. Out comes Aiden Bowie, moving up the wing. Can't get the shot away, just tips it in and gets after it here on the forecheck, looking to force a turnover. Off the boards here. That one taken by Sigsworth. Brad Sigsworth off the boards to Arsenault. Across there, chipped ahead there by Sigsworth. Mills rather, ahead to Sigsworth, who tries to clear it. Mills backhands it to the defense. In Trivers. Trivers across there, finds Phillips. Phillips back to Trivers. And a dump in there, but that's going to be an icing call here against the Rebels, as Trivers did not cross that center ice line before dumping it. So it'll go all the way back down here for this faceoff. Broussard on the draw. Trying to chip it past the defense here, the Rebels, as they come out the other way. 2-on-3. Shot there from distance, blocked in front, and here come the Highlanders in transition. Out of their own zone, Broussard with speed, and he lost control of the puck. Back to neutral zone ice it goes, dumped in there by Bowie. Head to the defense, moved ahead, Bowie chasing after it, but it's taken now up the wing. Dropped off by Sigsworth, finds his man there, shot there just wide of the goal. Out comes Cabot the other way in transition. Moving ahead is McGinnis. John Hugh McGinnis dumps it in around behind the goal. It's going to be an icing call here against Cabot. All the way back down the ice for this faceoff. 13-11 left to play here in the opening frame. First place in the standings on the line in this hockey game if either team's able to win. And that lead will take them into Saturday. As that's taken by Otway trying to clear it. Or dump it in rather. Moved in there by the Rebels. Cabot looking to respond here. It goes out to Nutra's own ice. Hit on the wall there. Reddick dumps it in. And that's another icing here against Cabot. So a defensive zone draw here for the Highlanders. 12:55 left to play in the first. McFarland on the draw here for the Rebels. Draw one there by Cabot, moved it across. Here they come again, moving up the ice, trying to drop it off the center ice line. Taken there again by the Rebels and dumped back in for them. Landry on the puck. Hard outlet there, looking for a breakout. As McClellan's behind the defense. McClellan on the backhand shot, what a save, rebound chance, banked in front. Another chance in front. Backhand shot by McGinnis off the side of the goal. What an opportunity there for the Highlanders, unable to cash in. Boy looking to clear, Gamble on the puck. Taken by McGinnis, that's going to be an offside here against Cabot. As we're going to have a face-off here in the neutral zone ice. What an opportunity that was for Cabot to extend their lead to 2 here. A breakaway and a rebound to boot. What a move on the backhand, better save there for Marash. As that's dumped off the skate and Otway looking to advance. Neutral zone ice, dump in there by Collins. Around behind the net it goes. Taken there by the Highlanders and dumped off the boards to McClellan again. He's got a head of steam coming up that right wing side. Holds on to it, skates by, unable to get the shot away. That's moved into the corner. Taken now here by the Rebels. Out they come the other way. Toombs, number 17, slides it across. Picks it up again. Toombs waits and shoots. That's blocked in front. Collins following that up. Dumps it in around the boards. Taken there by Brett Boyd looking to clear. Hard outlet there. As Heb chipped it ahead. Taken here by Otway. Slides it across to Hutt. Hutt with a shot that's blocked in front. Back to the blue line there. Kept alive as it goes to Otway. Otway chips it into the opposite corner there, and he goes for a line change. Hard hit in the corner there on the forecheck for the Rebels. Kept alive here by Ben McGregor. McGregor chips it in there for Mackey and Trainer. McGregor behind the goal. Into the far corner, dumps it in around the border, looking for a sweeping shot on that spinorama. That was blocked by Landry, but good pressure here by the Rebels at the halfway point of the first. Davidson looking to skate it out of the zone. There was a body check in front of the net, a chance here. McGregor in, shoots, what a save that was, point blank by Doucette as the puck goes to the corner. Cabot looking to clear here out to the ice. Still in their own zone here as that's taken away by Collins and trying to dump it back in and get that pressure play going for their team are the Rebels now. They've had a couple pressure opportunities in the last couple minutes here against Cabot. Unable to cash in as Doucette made a good point blank save there on that last opportunity. And we're going to have a neutral zone face-off here as both teams make changes before this draw. Dumped in there off the draw by Phillips. Good battle behind the goal. Landry taking the body. Again, is trying to get to that. Or McHattie, rather. Gamble dumps it in. Pass in front, a good chop there by the goaltender Doucette as he got to hold that stick. Or his puck, rather, as moving head is Reddick now down the wing. Nice move by Reddick to get by, but he can't get the shot away. Goes in the corner and chases after it on the near side. Dumps it to the point to McGinnis. McGinnis across. Finds Landry, skating in, shooting, and a save there for Marash, who gets the whistle here for the Rebels. 9:56 remaining here in the first period of play. 1-0 lead for the Cabot Highlanders. First place on the line in the standings heading into Saturday. Draw one by Cabot. They get possession. Sliding it across to Reddick. It's just out of his reach. He has to chase it down. But the defense for the Rebels got there first, but looking to keep it alive. It moved out and down the ice here as Landry chases it down. It's going to be icing here against the Rebels. Number 72, Alexander Broussard on the draw for the Cabot Highlanders. Drops it off to Reddick off that draw shot there, and a quick pad save for Marash, who sticked it aside into the corner, and that goes into the netting for a stoppage once again. 9:33 left. Full line changes here for both teams to start this draw. And once again, it's an offensive zone draw here for the Highlanders. So much can happen off these offensive zone wins. More of a high pressure win for the defensive team if they can get possession, but of course, so much back and forth battles off that draw to try to win possession, which is just because you win the draw doesn't mean you win possession. A lot of battles after the play as that's moved into the corner. Hard physical play there in the Cabot end. Onto the point, shot there from distance by Chasson is whistles wide. Off the battle in the corner here, Heb looking to get a hold of it. Out in front of the net. Here comes Chasson, rips a shot, blocked there in front by King, sacrificing the body, taken again by Chasson. Fire shot tipped just wide. Good opportunities here for the Rebels in the first. They're going to get a hold of it here. Ripped around the boards, into the far near corner rather. Good pressure here by the Rebels. Cabot looking to keep them to the outside and let Doucette see those shots as that's taken on the point. Shovel back in here. As looking to get after it in the corner are they? The Rebels behind the goal. Looking to set things up now is Harrison Hutt. Onto the point, back to Hutt. Tries to backhand it into the corner there. Back in front, Chasson on the point. Drops it off. Playing catch with Gamble. Shot there from Chasson, save made through the screen there by Doucette. Onto the near corner. Back in front it goes. King gets a stick on it but unable to clear. Good pressure by the Rebels. Cabot hemmed into their own zone here as Toombs tries to get that loose puck. Gathers it in, tries to drag move. Taken by Hutt, skating with it, shooting, and that goes over the net. And Hutt goes for a line change here. As Cabot looking to catch some sleeping. Out they come down the other way. King skating it out, dumps it in after getting that red line, and full line change here for the Highlanders, and a much needed one after that shift as they were in their own zone for the bulk of it. Dump back in there by Mills into the corner. Campbell almost gave the puck away at the side of the goal, looking for a jam play of the Rebels, but it's taken here and moved out to the side there, dumped out by Aiden J. McDonald, the lone goal scorer in that game, but that's going to be icing here against the Highlanders, so unable to make a change here. We'll go back down to their end for this face-off. So many momentum shifts in each period throughout the game as well. And both teams are underway in this tournament. Already a couple games to get their feet wet of the pressure opportunities, and now just looking to play the game, simplify things, north-south hockey, as that's moved down into the offensive zone here for the Rebels. Held on the backhand there by Landry. He can't get ahead. Puck's taken by Otway now. Down the wing, tries to pass in front and couldn't get the stick on it there. Was Mills who was open in front. Close call there for the Highlanders as that shot there sticked aside by Doucette. Off the boards onto the point. Back down, the Highlanders looking to clear here. Desperate to get it out as Collins holds that in neutral zone ice and dumps it back in here for the Rebels. Looking to keep the Highlanders on the back foot here, though. They're down by one. They're looking to tie it here in the first. Better them going into that second period of play at a tie hockey game than down by one. Knowing that they can score on this team. They can crack Doucette here. He's made a couple of great saves so far. A good pressure in the second half of this period by the Rebels as that puck cleared, but taken away in the puck possession again as out they come. McGregor down the right wing side, shot there, and he sails that wide of that glove side. Looking for a high shot as Broussard can't get it out. Rebels really getting these loose pucks first here, winning these puck battles so far. As it moved out, finally got out of the zone there as Cabot gets it ahead. foot race for it. Broussard can't get on that loose puck. Taken by Gamble, moved across. And the Rebels gaining a lot of confidence after that win against the Dukes earlier today in overtime as they came back from down 3-2 in the third to tie it up. And they ended up winning it in overtime 4-3 against a bitter rival who they lost to in the PEI final earlier this year in a 7-game series. So they've come out swinging in this one. But so far Cabot with a 1-0 lead. And now Cabot looking to extend that as they try to keep things in the offensive zone. McGinnis moves it ahead for Reddick. Reddick down the wing, dumps it in here for Cabot. John Hugh McGinnis on the forecheck looking to get a head of steam into the offensive zone, stepping up on the play. But now out they come the other way. Do the Rebels dumping it in behind the goal. Landry on the reception, rims it around the boards looking for McHattie. Goes by him. As it's taken in, gather in here by the Rebels defense. Dropping it off around the boards. Looking to intercept that, taken by McGinnis on the point. He holds the line. Turning it down to King. King sliding it in front to McDonald, and now the Highlanders trying to get some offensive pressure here. Turnover in front, shot there. Off the blocker and into the netting. A quick high riser of a shot that was labeled for the top corner, and a great save there by Morash, as now Cabot's starting to buzz here with 4:31 remaining. One nothing lead for the Cabot Highlanders on that goal from Aiden McDonald, who's on the ice again, and he's taking this draw in the offensive zone, number 17. And that draw won cleanly by Toombs. Defensive draw win, but Aiden McDonald looking to get a hold of that puck on the wall. Fires it off the boards to his line mate and Boyd on defense, and Chasson in the corner. Trying to clear it. Outlet pass there, touch pass. Ahead to Toombs. Toombs trying to dangle, gets by, holding on the left wing side. Trying to dump it past the defense and take it for a ride into the boards by Brett Boyd. Looks to take him off the puck. Aiden McDonald on there behind his own goal line. Pass in front of that, deflected wide as a quick pad save there by Doucette. He looked to got a piece of it. Stepping into that is Chesson, and a hard there block by King, who took that on the pad as he got in front of that shot and sacrificed the body to make that play. As that's moved down the ice here, covered by Doucette for the whistle. 3:41 left in the first. Offensive zone face-off here for the Rebels. Fairly clean hockey game thus far. No penalties called as of yet. As Jet Mills takes his place at the draw against McGinnis. On to the point, pass in front to Mills. Holding on to what shoots. Save made by Doucette. A rebound chance. Cleared away there by Landry. Back in the corner goes another shot. Glove save for Doucette on that sharp angle shot. And Doucette's been tested here, especially in the second half of this first period. As the Rebels getting some good pressure opportunities, a lot of touches of the puck, movement in the offensive zone. Trying to confound the Cabot Highlanders defense as that's moved out to Nucha's own ice. Battle for on the near wall. Hebb sweeps it into the zone. Receiving that in the corner is Corbett, looks to clear. Touch pass ahead there for Mills. Moves it onto the wing and dumped in by Harrison Hutt into the corner. Hard hit there on the corner as the physical play is starting to become a factor here. Now come Cabot Highlanders down the wing, fired in by Landry on the goal. And McCullough looking to get there in the corner, dumped around the boards for Otway on that near wing side. Down deep in the zone. Highlanders holding on to it. Nice move by Hebb, a shot there and a save. Made there by Morash, who gets the whistle. 2:43 left to play here in the first. Full line changes once again for this draw. Aiden McDonald line back on the ice here for the Cabot Highlanders. This time McGinnis at the top of the circle. Off that draw, Davidson after it on the forecheck. Hard hit in the corner by Davidson. Takes his man to the ice. Davidson, a skilled player, but not afraid to throw the body around. Another hit by Davidson. Really throwing the body around now. The roaring approval of the hometown fans as that dumped off the backboards. Landry in the corner, he delivers a hit of his own. Taken there on the wall. Hard hit there. This time by Max Gamble. Both of the leading scorers of either team looking to throw the body here. Here's Davidson on the drop across. Intercepted there by Trivers. Alexander Trivers moving in and fires it into the zone. Stopped up by Doucette behind the goal. John Hugh McGinnis gives it away to Gamble. Gamble waits and shoots. Deflected off the mask of Doucette and into the corner. Around behind it goes. Holding on to it there. Turning it behind the goal. Reddick intercepts that pass and he skates out with it. Looking to get up and dump it in, make that simple play, and skates after it here on the forecheck against Chesson. Hard hit on Chesson, knocks him to the ice. What a hit by Reddick. Into the slot area, shot off the shoulder. And that one caught the netting here. Off of deflection. Incredible physical play here in the first. And the Highlanders getting a slight edge in that category. They've thrown a few big hits there. Reddick with the most recent one there in the corner on Chesson, and Davidson with 2 or 3 hits in that last shift as Boyd gets that off the draw, fires a shot there, deflected into the corner, and taken now by Malcolm James, looking to clear, but taken off the puck, another hit there in the corner. Highlanders really throwing the body around this one. Reddick dumps it in. Near corner, dumped at Toombs, another humongous hit there on the wall. My goodness, the physical play in this game is something to behold. Still only the first period. And a hand pass on the play there with 51.4 left. Once again, we'd like to thank our official game sponsor, Tim Hortons of Port Hawkesbury, for sponsoring this contest. Off the draw. Highlanders with possession there as that's knocked off the wall. Tipped in by Davidson, is back on the ice. Again, it's looking to intercept that pass, but it's taken here and chipped in there by Gamble, but onto the Highlanders bench, and so another stoppage here with 38.3 left in the first period of play. Neutral zone face-off here, just outside the Rebels' end. Trial one there by the Rebels. Moved across. Outlet pass there, played with a high stick by Davidson. And McDonald on the draw once again here for the Highlanders. And McFarland won that draw. He chases after the puck in the offensive zone against Landry, who chips it wide. McGinnis rather around the boards. Chipped ahead here for the Highlanders. Backhanded free by McGinnis, looking for McDonald across on that right wing side. Taken by James. Holding on to it, just 8 seconds to play here in the first. Dumped around, held at the line by Landry. Rips the shot from the point, glove save. Nearly at the horn by Marash on that quick shot from the Highlanders captain, Austin Landry. And he can really shoot it. McDonald on the draw, look for a set play here, just 2.7 left to go. And that goes in the corner. That'll do it here for the first period. 1-0 for the Cabot Highlanders after one. Be back shortly for the second period of play. This intermission brought to you by Steel Mac. We'll see you soon in that second period. And we are live back at the Port Hawkesbury Civic Center for this second period of play. This game brought to you by Tim Hortons of Port Hawkesbury. The Cabot Highlanders with a 1-0 lead after one. We start things off here in the second. A dump in, pass in front, Mills shot, and a great pad save to start things off by Doucette. Getting tested early here as out come the Highlanders in transition off that save. Davidson dumping it in. Picked up by Chesson in his own zone, flipping it out to Nutri's on ice, looking for a touch there. Was McGregor. McGinnis looking to clear. Nice pass outlet there for Arsenault, trying to move it in front, slide the shot there, save made, rebound chance, another save there by Doucette. As the Rebels looking to get things started here and put the Highlanders on the back foot early here in the second. Still down by one here against the hometown boys as they come across. A shot there, gloves, and into the netting. As it caught the outside of the glove of Doucette and fell in the netting as that one was labeled for the top corner. Just getting a piece of it there was Doucette on that quick release. It looked like Gamble got the shot there. McFarland on the draw here in the offensive zone for the Rebels. Draw one to the point. Out the line there. Shot all the way through and a pad save there for Doucette. Tripped up on the play was Reddick there. Cabot looking for a call there. They're not going to get one as it stopped up here behind the goal. Moved across to the wing. Fans irate at that one. As it's moved across, intercepted there by Oliver on the backhand forehand move. And taken now, trying to move ahead there was London Corbett, unable to get through. Takes it again, and a hard clear. Trying to find Gamble streaking, and that goes all the way down the ice. It touched Oliver there, so no icing on the play. Oliver backhands it to his line partner there. And a tap pass out to the Nutri's own ice. Broussard looking to dangle here. Taken here by the Highlanders now, moving out with the ice. And it's taken now by the Rebels. Move the other way in transition. Gamble looking to get a stick on it. Gets it on, trying to slide it in front. Good hard hit there by Bowie on the corner. And the ice is getting sticky there, unable to handle that. Was Brett Boyd as it's on to the point now. Moved across, shot there, tipped wide into the near corner. Bowie rather. Intercepted there. Here they come again. Do the Rebels trying to sweep it there in front with Sigsworth. Followed up there into the corner. Good pressure here by the Rebels to start things off in the second. Onto the point, shot there from distance all the way through and covered and held by Doucette, who gets the whistle. Defensive zone draw here for the Highlanders. Toombs on the draw in the offensive zone. One there to Campbell. Campbell rims it around the boards there for McGinnis. Or McClellan, rather. McGinnis over to McClellan. Trying to dump it off the boards here. Gets it by. Skating after it is Heb on the forecheck. Moving back his trainer. Trivers skating up the Nutri's own ice. Tries to stick it by, and he goes after it on the forecheck against Landry. Trying to sweep it around behind. McClellan on the chase. Pad save, a rebound chance in front. Another backhand shot that stopped in front. Blocked by Campbell. Off the boards, taken again. Fired shot, tipped on goal. And a quick blocker save there for Doucette as goes into the near corner. Good pressure here once again by the Rebels. Onto the point. Trivers moves it across. Waiting and shooting, and a glove save there for Doucette. A little bit of extracurriculars there after the whistle, but no penalties going to be called here as things settle down fairly quickly there. Face off in the offensive zone here once again for the Rebels to the left of the goaltender Mason Doucette. Jet Mills on the draw. Pass in front of the net, Mills in front. He can't get a stick on another chance. Onto the point. Shot there by Chesson. Blocked in front by McDonald, and out come Cabot the other way. Sonic a pass ahead. McHattie tips it in. Stopped up there. And behind the goal here to the Rebels come out. James getting stripped of the puck almost there by McHattie. Broussard gets a hold of it. He dumps it in for Cabot. Chesson holding on to it. Gets it across to Mills. Mills steps wide, tries to shovel it through Nutri's own ice. Taken there and fired back in by McHattie. as Chasson goes to pick that up for the Rebels. Dumping it out, Broussard chasing it back to neutral zone ice. Outlet pass off the boards to McCaddy, trying to sweep that free. James turning to the forehand, off the glass. Landry touches it up to King. King scanning over the blue line, steps in, shoots, a blocker save, rebound chance, loose in front, and that's cleared here by the Rebels defense. Lobbed out to neutral zone ice. Oliver getting a hold of that here in the defensive zone. Moves across to McCaddy. McCaddy down the wing, stopped up there and dumped in by McGregor, who goes off for a line change as Gamble gets a hold of it, centering it in front. Quick move by Davidson as he gets the legs churning and burning up the neutral zone ice, and he takes a tumble there at his own blue line. And now here they come, the Rebels in the other way. Oliver looking to move it ahead. Kept alive there by Hutt. Hard outlet there. Corbett gets a hold of it. He fires it in. Glove down by Doucette and on to his defenseman there. Lobbed out down the ice. It's a slow one, so there's not going to be icing on this play. It is called icing here. And the Cabot bench confused as to that call as Bucket slowed down considerably on the way past the line, but it will be called icing here. As in the offensive zone once again here for the Rebels. One into the corner. Dump it off the boards and held there, taken by Davidson now. Davidson taps to the defense. Chipped out. And across the near side wall here, taken by the defense, and Oliver, who dumps it in there for Cabot. On to the goal is Morash forced to stick it into the corner. Chipped in by McGinnis. Davidson trying to put it in front to McClellan, and that sailed over everybody into the neutral zone ice as Oliver picks that one up. Off the boards, almost gave it away. He did give it away as McGinnis came back to pick up that loose puck. Bowie around the boards. Or Oliver, rather. Taken on the wall, shoveled out there. Taken by Davidson now, trying to move it ahead. And he goes for a line change here. Stopped up there, given away. As Trainer tried to get that loose puck. And now it's taken by the Highlanders, not to come. Outlet pass there from McGinnis. McGinnis down the wing, dumps it in. He goes for a line change. Phillips onto the wing, looking for Sigsworth. He gets a hold of it, dumps it back to the defense. As Trivers moves it across. Dumped out and down the ice here for the Rebels. Moved across. Looking to make a stick handle move. A hard hit there by Bowie on Trainer as Reddick tips that one into the offensive zone. Here they come again. Reddick on the forecheck. Bowie behind the goal, trying to wrap around shot that was blocked in front. And now here come the Rebels up the ice. Sliding a pass ahead for Sigsworth, taken now by Campbell, moved off the boards to Reddick. He's unable to clear. Landry on that loose puck, chips it ahead. Taken by Sigsworth, backhanding it free. Nice stick work there by Reddick. Get that loose puck, but it's taken once again here by Sigsworth, dumped in there. Toombs chasing it after on the forecheck. Trying to take the body there on Landry. Around it goes the behind. Moved ahead. Davidson back, or excuse me, Broussard back on the ice. He's got some wheels as he turns behind the goal. Taken now by the defense of the Rebels. Outlet pass blocked by Landry, but it gets to the stick of Mills. Mills down the wing, slides it across, looking for McGregor. It pops up behind him, but he's unable to see it as Landry looked to clear that one. It goes out to neutral zone ice. Moved back down the ice onto the pads of Doucette and into the corner. Onto the point, James gathers it and fires. That's blocked in front. And now out come the Highlanders. There's a 2-on-1 the other way. Heb, he's got McClellan in front. Heb shot off the crossbar. Whistled it past the goaltender's shoulder and hit the iron. And now out comes Mills the other way. Skating wide, he takes it, slides it in front there. That was blocked in by the pad of Doucette. Now out come the Highlanders the other way. Checked there by Mills. Fired back in there for the Rebels as Landry goes to pick that one up behind his own goal. Landry, hard outlet there, looking for Heb off his skate. Looks to gather it in, but it goes onto the defense here for the Rebels as they get puck possession. Firing it back into the zone. And Doucette forced to play it there and forced to cover as the Rebels were on him. Face off in the offensive zone here for the Rebels. Dumped around behind by McGinnis, held at the line there, fired shot is blocked. Hebb looking to move that ahead, fired shot there by Gamble, swallowed up by Doucette. Max Gamble on the draw for the Western Rebels here in the offensive zone. Leading scorer in the regular season with 50 points in 36 games. That rinned around the boards here. Giving away to Gamble. Dangerous man to give it to. His shot there is blocked aside. And now out comes Broussard the other way. He's got a head of steam coming up the neutral zone ice. He takes a tumble as well. Maybe perhaps the ice is getting choppy here at this late stage of the day. I'm not sure, but both the speedy Davidson and Broussard both took a tumble here in the second period. As that's off the boards. Moved ahead here for the Highlanders. Out they come the other way. King, he moves up the ice. Step wide by a check. Drops it off, and a great active stick there. And now the Rebels come out the other way. Moving in on the wide side. Shot there, blocking aside. Bounces free and finally caught by Doucette. On that rush opportunity for the Rebels. As defense led to offense on that play. And now a defensive zone draw here for Cabot. Offensive zone draw for the Rebels. Toombs back on the draw, number 17 once again against number 17 of the Cabot Highlanders, Aiden McDonald, the lone goal scorer thus far this hockey game. As that draw won there by McDonald, moved to the corner, but the Highlanders, or the Rebels rather, gain possession. McGinnis tries to move it ahead to McDonald. He skates behind his own goal. Aiden McDonald holding on to it, dumping it off the backboards to Campbell. Campbell off to the left wing side. Davidson trying to dig that puck loose. And it's moved out free here for the Highlanders. Out they come the other way. Moving wide. Nice dancing move and checked off the puck there was McDonald. Pass in front onto the point here. Campbell trying to hold that line. He dumps it in and takes a check to make that play. But here come the Rebels the other way. Looking for a pass there. And it's dumped in. Hard check there on Toombs by Campbell. Shot there from distance. That's blocked into the corner. Chopped out there out to neutral zone ice. Toombs gets it and fires it back in here for the Rebels. Cabot behind their own goal here. Just reaching the halfway point of this second period of play. Moving out with it now, the Highlanders. Off the boards there. McGinnis tries to tap that ahead. And that goes out to neutral zone ice. Gathered in here by the Rebels as that pass goes to Mills. Mills down the wing shoots. And the Rebels are offside at the blue line here. And that'll bring out a neutral zone draw. Face off just outside the Cabot Highlanders zone here. As Mills is back on the draw here. Wins it back to the defense for the Rebels. As they skate out with it into the zone. Chesson dumping it in. Around the boards to start that cycle play going. Pass in front shot there, and a quick pad save there for Doucette. A rebound chance in front, they bang away. And that's finally covered by the Highlanders goaltender with some extracurriculars after the whistle here. Highlanders taking exception to the jostling in front. Just gonna let him play here. Offensive zone draw here. Shot there off the draw. Stick save for Doucette. Into the corner it goes now. Looking for an outlet pass. It's taken here. Reddick drops it off. Shot there from Broussard. Stick save. As well as that left pad being kicked out by Morash. Out to the zone it goes. Gamble skating wide. Pass in front there. Deflection in front. Another chance. That goes wide. Reddick on it now, trying to chip it by. McGinnis pitching his man off in his own zone here. Foot race forward here. Landry gets to it first. Gamble looking to get that loose puck. Off the boards, held at the line by Chesson. Ripper of a shot that was blocked in front by Landry. Got a stick on that low shot. Knocked into the air there by Reddick. And taken here, Reddick follows it up. Holds onto it, tries to put it in front. That's intercepted by Otway, out ahead to Gamble. Gamble 1-on-3, moving in wide, waits and shoots, and that's sticked into the netting by McGinnis for a stoppage in play. Both teams getting their looks here, a 22-shot advantage for the Highlanders thus far in this hockey game. Western Rebels on the draw here. We're going to take that loose puck onto the point. It gets past the stick of Ty Collins, who turns with it, drops it off for Toombs. Toombs, number 17, down the right wing side. Chips it in past the defense and skates after it. Looking to get past Campbell. Campbell takes him for a ride into the boards. He gets past him. And a nice little shimmy and shake there, but a hard body check on the wall. Drops it off. Shot there from distance, like a saucer pass almost, but it's caught by Doucette for the whistle here. Once again in the offensive zone for the Rebels. Rebels starting to push the pace here in the second period of play, looking for that tying goal, as only one goal separates these two teams with plenty of hockey left to play, almost a full half game remaining in allotted time, as Otway takes that draw. Chipped off the boards, held there by Corbett momentarily, but it's moved ahead by Cabot. Out comes Heb, chopping a saucer pass across to McClellan. He looks to dance by Toombs. Toombs got a stick on it, but Heb follows it up in the corner. McClellan lost a glove. Landry winds and shoots, and that one sails wide of the goal. McGinnis rims that around the boards. Heb chasing it down in the near corner, trying to get a hold of that puck. Slides it to Landry on the point. He wasn't expecting that, and there's an offside here for the Highlanders. And so that'll be brought back likely to their own blue line for the hash marks, or excuse me, for the face-off here. And of course, this game brought to you as always by Tim Hortons in this Port Hawkesbury location. We thank you them for hosting this, or sponsoring this game, and as well to the presenting sponsors, Home Hardware and the Mac Group out of Icogma, Port Hood, and Port Hawkesbury, as well as our steel sponsor, Steel Mac, as that's moved out to neutral zone ice. Dumped in there for the Western Rebels into the corner. Landry, or excuse me, Oliver on it, trying to get a hold of it. In front of the net, a chop shot there. As Trainer looked to get a stick on that, but now out come the Highlanders the other way. McHattie down the right wing side. He slides a pass across. Broussard wasn't in stride to receive that pass, as McHattie thought he would be. Pass in front of the net, taken away by the defense of the Rebels. They chop it out. Held by Oliver at the center ice line. He fires it on, right on goal, as he wasn't past the center ice line, so he shot it on goal, negating that icing, as that's dumped in around by King. Taken here on the corner by the Rebels, trying to chip it out. McHattie looks to jump and catch that puck, and that's dumped just to the defense here as Trivers gets it across. Holding on to it, waiting. His Trainer shot there is stopped with the glove by Doucette, but it's loose here. Shoveled out by the Highlanders, and they get a hold of it now. Oliver skating out. Holds onto it, waits, slides it across to McDonald. McDonald drags, shot in front, save, rebound chance for Davidson, but he can't get the wood on it. As it's taken now by McDonald, onto the point to McGinnis. He winds and shoots. He scores! It's Jake McGinnis with a shot from the point that caught Morash by surprise as it looked to hit the underside of his elbow and blocker and fell in behind him into the goal. It's never a bad idea to throw a puck towards the net. And the Highlanders show just that by their second goal of this hockey game to take the lead by 2 here. After a quick push by the Rebels, backhand shot on goal, they score! What a quick response as Gamble shoveled that towards the goal. And Doucette unprepared for that one as it squeaked through the 5-hole. And what a response here for the Rebels right after 2 goals in the sequence of about 15 seconds here. As now we're back to a 1-goal hockey game just like that. Incredible. Don't go anywhere, folks. It's not the time to grab popcorn just yet with goals being scored at this kind of pace in the last few minutes as Reddick trying to chip it ahead. Moved ahead for Sigsworth, drops it off there. Moved across to Gamble on the left wing side. Arsenault with the assist on the Gamble goal. Reddick in the corner, he gets checked. Holding on to it there, good pressure here by the Rebels as that's moved ahead, looking to beat the icing here is Bowie. He gets checked in the corner, but he gets a hold of the puck. Bowie on the back end, shoveling in front. Here's an opportunity for Campbell onto the back end. Dumps it around the boards. Landry looking to pinch, but thinks a second guess is it. Is that Gamble looking to break free? And Campbell gets back in time for that loose puck, chops it around the boards there for Bowie. Bowie on the back end finds Landry. Landry ahead. Nice intercept there by the Rebels as Chesson gets a hold of it, fires it there from distance. That goes high over the goal. And that's down the ice here. Taken by Toombs. Toombs looking to catch Cabot sleeping on the line change as Landry gets that loose puck. Here comes the new legs on the ice. McGinnis moving wide, holding on to it on the back end. Dumps it in around the boards. Good battle for it in the corner here. McClellan trying to get on it as well. But out come the Rebels. An outlet pass stopped up by Oliver and dumped back in here for the Highlanders. Took a funny hop off the boards there. But it's out there in neutral zone ice again here. Highlanders dump it in once again, but onto the defense. Taken now by Corbett. Corbett moves it ahead for Mills, backhanded free onto the defense of the Highlanders. Battle for it in the defensive end here for the Highlanders. Dropped off to Corbett. Corbett a shot from distance. Almost a tip on goal there. As McFarland looked to get a stick on that. Another shot towards the goal. Both teams just throwing everything at the net in either end here. As you never know what bounces you can get. Nice move by Mills. Trying to move wide. He made one too many moves there, but it's dropped off to Corbett. Corbett shot there, tipped on goal. A good pad save there, but a follow-up here in the corner. Off the boards, off the glass. Stopped up by Otway. He looks to hold the line and does. And a hard hit there. Oliver looking to take the body on the smaller Otway, but he got the better of him on that one. Hayes Otway holding his ground on that play. Not looking to get bullied here by the Cabot Highlanders. With a reverse hit like that is off the boards, held at the line there. Trying to get past here is McGinnis, or McHattie rather. As that's chopped back into the offensive zone here. Otway on the forecheck, trying to strip his man to the puck. Moved out to McHattie. McHattie in the center of the ice, drops it off, another tumble play. As that's moved across to Broussard. Broussard moving wide. Tries a wraparound pass in front. And another shot there by Landry from distance. That's blocked. A hard block there. Looked to caught McGregor on the hand there. He looks pretty shaken up as Otway comes ahead one-on-one. Otway moving on, shot there off the glove's inside and in wide. Stopped up on the point here, shot from distance. That goes wide as well. McGregor still on the ice after that block. He's going to go off for a line change here. What a gutsy play there by number 18 to block that shot. And a heavy one from Landry on the point. As he gathers a few breaths on the bench after that play. Onto the point, held at the line there. Moved ahead to Hutt. Hutt looking to dance by Landry. Landry gets him off the puck and moves it around behind the goal for McGinnis. John Hugh McGinnis. Skates by, looking to weave his way through the neutral zone ice. Carries the puck. He's got some long strides coming into the ice. Moving in the offensive zone. Skates to the net. Shot, or a quick shot there. And a good pad save there for Marash. Up behind the goal now, looking to exit the zone here are the Rebels. Oh, they gave the puck away to Cabot here, looking to set it up. Good stick check there by McDonald, but a good defensive play there by Gamble to get it back to his defense. As turning with it now is Ty Collins, trying to slide a chip play out to the neutral zone ice. He follows it up, dances by, and taken by Cabot now in transition. And one too many moves there as out come Trainer the other way, trying to drop it off. A chop shot there by Sigsworth. Taken by Gamble now. Gamble waits, shoots, and that's off a deflection of Landry, the captain, off his leg and into the netting for a stoppage in play. 1:42 remaining here in the second period of play. 1 goal lead here for the Cabot Highlanders. And what a response there by the Rebels after that goal to make it 2-0 by the Highlanders. Just, I counted about 8 seconds after that. They came down the ice and scored a goal of their own. As a shot there right off the draw, as diving towards that loose puck was Jet Mills off that face-off. As that goes down the ice here, a foot race as McGinnis looked to get a hold of it. McDonald intercepts that. He's got Davidson for a one-time option, but he slides in the center ice, trying to drop it off to Davidson as they switch spaces. Davidson into the corner, holding onto that puck. Minute 21 remaining. He takes a hard hit there and lost his stick in the process, but he gathers it back in. Davidson trying to find that loose puck. Nice intercept there for McGinnis, who fires it back in for the Highlanders. They have to tag up as they're offside. McDonald and Davidson both going to the bench for a line change here as a chip play by Toombs. It's off his skate as he gathers in, fires it into the offensive zone here for the Rebels. We're in the last minute to play in the second here as Landry takes a hard check into the boards there. Looks like it caught him by surprise there as Mills took the body. Shot there from distance, patted aside. Follow up there in the corner. Couple cross checks in front of that shot. What a save. Rebound chance. They bang away. And it's finally covered. Close call there as Doucette made the save. And Joe Arsenault, the Rebels, slow to get up in the corner after that body check. Once again, after 2 periods, quite a bit of physical play here on both sides. As the first were Cabot Highlanders to start it off in the first, and the Western Rebels have responded with quite a few hits of their own. Not looking to be knocked around the ice too much. Just a 1-goal hockey game lead here. 41 seconds to play. Could be a quick play off the draw. And if you're the Western Rebels, you want to take that tie into the third period of play rather than just be down a goal as they look to stay on the attack here against Cabot. Possibly get a late goal here. Off the boards to Reddick. Reddick skating down the left wing side. 25 seconds to go. Dumps it in there for the Highlanders. Taken by James, moved around behind his own goal. The Rebels looking to get one last rush here. That goes all the way down the ice. And that'll be icing here against the Rebels for one final offensive zone draw here for the Highlanders. With 13.6 left to go in the second period of play. Draw taking place to the left of the goaltender, Sam Morash. Excuse me, it's to the right of his goaltender, my mistake there. As that draw, won by Cabot. Shot there by Reddick off the draw, and a quick pad save there for Morash. Winding, shooting is Landry. Trying for a shot pass, that goes wide. 5 seconds to go. Good pressure here by Cabot at the close. Slid across there, looking for Reddick. Reddick drops it off, and that'll do it here for the second period of play. 2-1 lead for the Highlanders after 2. And stay tuned for that third period of play. Just a 1-goal lead here for the Cabot Highlanders. Anything can happen in that third period. We'll get the Zamboni on the ice to flood, and this intermission brought to you by Steel Mac, our silver sponsor. Stay tuned for the third period of play, live from High Button Sports. We're back for the third period of play here. This game brought to you by Tim Hortons out of Port Hawkesbury. As we look out to start things off, 2-1 for Cabot. Highlanders after 2. But a good push by the Rebels there in that second period of play to respond to that quick goal by the Highlanders. Is out they come again. McGinnis ripping a shot off the first face-off as Davidson looks to dump it in for the Highlanders. That goes all the way down the ice past Boyd. As chasing after now is Oliver on the forecheck. Holding on to it, looking for an intercept there with Chesson. Stick lift there against a player in Brett Boyd in the corner. All the way down the ice again it goes. And looks like it's going to be an icing here against the Highlanders. So face-off taking place in the defensive end here for the hometown boys. On the draw. Gamble. Max Gamble on the draw here in the offensive zone. Taking off the draw by McGinnis, looking to get that puck free, but taken by Gamble for a moment there. McGinnis backhands it off the boards, held at the point. Shot there from distance all the way through and wide. As it's taken now and shoveled out. A foot race here. McGinnis looking to beat that icing. And he looks like he did, but an icing is called on the part of the officials. The Cabot bench irate at that call. As McGinnis got there first and was well ahead of the defense. And they're going to take it to center ice here for the draw for a compromise. As a full line change here to start this draw for the Highlanders. Broussard off the draw, gets possession. Tries to drag it through, but it's taken there and dumped in by Sigsworth. McGinnis holds onto it, backhands it around the boards. Taken by Broussard now down that right wing side. Gathering speed as he skates up neutral zone ice. Slides it across to Reddick. And a hard hit there on Collins by Broussard on the follow through. And Collins shaken up there on the play. In front of the net, Reddick tries to pass it through. Fired back in by Landry off a deflection into the corner. Here comes McFarland behind the goal. And it looks like there's going to be a penalty call in the play. It's a delayed call. And it's going to go against the Rebels here as Gamble touches that up. And our first power play of the game here. Interference call is the call. As Sigsworth goes to the box to serve the penalty. This power play brought to you by Route 19 Plumbing. In the offensive zone here are the Highlanders. McDonald on the draw. He's got that opening goal for the Highlanders. He wins it cleanly back to Broussard. Broussard across. McGinnis shot there and a great glove save from Marash. Off that quick shot by McGinnis from the point. McDonald on the draw. One cleanly back there by Mills, but a good stick check there on the forecheck by Davidson. Gets it on the wing to McDonald. McDonald across. Held at the point there by McGinnis back into neutral zone ice. As he skates through neutral zone ice with the puck. McGinnis dumping it in. Checked there by Corbett. Unable to take him off the puck, but it goes back to McDonald here. Minute 27 left in the man advantage here for Cabot. Turning with his Broussard off that reception as he turns into his own zone here. Trying to gather speed here. Fumbles the puck for a moment, but gets it by and tries to dump it in. Taken off the puck by Mills. Mills, McGinnis hold the line. On the backhand, McGinnis holds onto it. Gets it to the point there. McDonald dropping it off for McGinnis, switching spots. Across, McDonald winds and shoots. That goes wide to that glove hand side. Broussard on the point. Just 54 seconds left in the man advantage. Slid across. McDonald drops it off. Shot there from distance. Pops up to Davidson. Davidson looking to bank it. Off the defenseman. McGinnis gets it back across here. He's getting and waiting and shooting off the mask, it looked like, of Marash and into the corner. 35 seconds to go in the man advantage. Dropping it off. McDonald tries to drop it down low. He gets it to McGinnis. Across to Davidson. Davidson holding on to that puck. Fires a shot from distance and off the glove and down into the corner. 21 seconds to go in the power play. McGinnis drops it off. Good intercept there by Gamble. Comes out short-handed, trying to dangle there past McGinnis, but McGinnis takes it. He makes a move in the neutral zone ice. Gets past, drops it off to McDonald. McDonald waits and shoots, and that's wide of that glove side. Follow up here. Just 4 seconds to go here. A hard hit there on Gamble. That's into the corner here by McDonald. We're back to even strength here as the Cabot Highlanders take it into the offensive zone. Dropped off to the point. Nice move there on the blue line there by Heb. Back in front of McDonald, taken here by Bowie on the point. Fires a shot from distance, that's blocked and cleared down the ice here by the Western Rebels, and that's going to be icing against them for a face-off taking place in their own zone. Once again, 16:03 left to play here in the third. And this game brought to you by Tim Hortons of Port Hawkesbury. Thank you for your contribution to this hockey game and this hockey community, for supporting these local players. As that puck taken here by Sigsworth off the boards. Boyd dumps it in there for the Highlanders. Corbett in his own zone. Trying to ring it around the boards. Off the funny bounce and wraparound shot, and a quick save there for Marash. And that was a close call for the defense for the Rebels. Almost a big misplay there. 15:45 left to go here in the third. Broussard on the draw for the Cabot Highlanders. Reddick parked at the top of the circle. Chopped up by Reddick into the corner. Finds Bowie. Bowie behind the goal. Pass in front of Reddick. Shot. That one sails over the glove hand side. He got quite a bit of wood on it, but a little too much under that shot, and one went over the goal. Great follow through though. Moved ahead there as Gamble gets past the defense. Went into the corner now, stopped up by Campbell behind his own goal. Campbell across the wing there, dumped out, but taken alive by Toombs and put back in the zone. Held at the line. Gamble waiting, shooting, or James rather. Back on the point. Shot by Chesson, tipped on by Toombs into the corner. Landry off the boards. Nice move to get by the defense. Could be a 2-on-1 the other way for Cabot. Here they come. Reddick in front, shot there. Save made, point blank by Marash, and now out come the Rebels the other way. 4-on-3. Across there to Otway. Otway dips the shoulder, protects the puck. He's checked hard by McGinnis in the corner. Taken off of it as McGinnis gets a hold of it. Jack McGinnis, rather, down the right wing side. Shot there, blocked in front. McGinnis follows it up. Ripping a shot there that sails over the goal. Landry on the near side. Dumps it across. Out behind the goal is Heb trying to get that puck loose. Backhands it around the boards. And now out come the Rebels the other way. Outlet pass there, finding Otway, but he lost the puck. And now out come McClellan the other way for the Highlanders. Skating wide, waits and shoots, and that's glove down. But still loose off the backhand onto the point. John Hugh McClellan looking to hold the line, and the Highlanders have to tag up here as they're offside. Outlet pass there for Trainer. Gets by him, he couldn't touch it up there. And no icing called. This is moves around the boards. Taken by John Hugh McGinnis. Nice move to get by, avoiding that hit as we get to McClellan. McClellan trying to drop it off. Follows it up. In the corner there. Heb looking to get a hold of that loose puck. Healthy physical battles throughout this contest. As now out come Mills the other way for the Rebels, dumping it in. Oliver on it. He sticks it off the glass and gets it to John Hugh McGinnis, who gets it to neutral zone ice. Dumped back in by the Rebels, and they get a line change. Oliver behind his own goal. Moves wide, fires a saucer pass all the way down the ice here, and that'll be icing against the Highlanders. 13-13 left to play here in the third. Offensive zone face-off for the Rebels. Gamble on the draw. Wins it cleanly back to the point. Shot there from distance, tipped over the goal. Stopped up here by the Rebels in the corner. Good battle here. Rebels desperate to get some more scoring chances and tie this hockey game in the third. Sigsworth in the corner, dumping it around behind. As the seconds and minutes tick by, it gets to be more pressure as time moves along. And the Cabot Highlanders would like to get an insurance goal, of course, on their end as they dump it in. More goals the better for either team here as that's moved down the ice. And another icing here, this time against the Rebels. They'll go all the way back down to their end for this faceoff. 12:40 left to play here in the third. 2-1 lead for the Cabot Highlanders. Looking to take that first place position in the standings to go into Saturday morning. Draw one cleanly there by McFarland of the Rebels as that puck is offside here at the blue line. Davidson touched that up and we'll get a neutral zone faceoff here. And quite a big crowd in attendance here tonight. All around the walking track here, lined up at the rails to watch this contest. As we have quite a capacity crowd here at the Civic Center. As that's dumped out down the ice here by the Rebels into the corner. We always appreciate you tuning into these broadcasts, but there is really nothing quite like a live hockey game in person. You get to feel the atmosphere of the rink and all the screaming and hollering right in front of you of the players and the fans in attendance. As it's taken on the point shot there, tipped on goal, or blocked in front there rather, as it's taken now here and chipped out. Arsenault, but that's going to be an icing here once again against the Rebels. So good pressure here by Cabot, forcing the Western Rebels to ice the puck over and over again here and tire this line out. And so shutting down those passing lanes, not allowing a clean zone exit for the Rebels. Broussard stepping up to the draw. He's got Reddick parked at the top of the circle. Gets it to Reddick, chipping it in, and that hits the netting for another stoppage here. And so now the Rebels will get their needed line change for this draw. .48 left to play in the third. Chesson looking to clear that. Toombs skates on by, drops it off and tries to find his man in Harrison Hutt, who dumps it in there for the Rebels. On the forecheck. Reddick gets a hold of it, tries to slide it through, and taken by Chesson, fires back in. A hard dump in there for the Rebels, forced to turn back and dump it in again as they have to tag up for the offside. Behind the own goal there, slide it across to Reddick. Reddick moves to the side there, taken here by the Highlanders. Nice pass across, looking for a shot. It was a bobbling puck and some good stick battles here as Toombs gets a hold of it. Skates it on, taken by Boyd, moved ahead, looking for a chip play was Oliver. And icing waved off here as the Rebels look to move out. Oatway receiving that pass, holds onto it and tries to slide it through, and intercepted by McDonald, looking to get it to McHattie. Highlanders moving across on the defense. Taken by McDonald now. He had that opening goal for the Highlanders in the first as he skates in on the right wing side, dipping the shoulder and protecting the puck, moving behind the goal. Tries to bank it off the boards, but a stick there and a good pip there by King into the corner. McDonald following it up. Good zone possession time here for the Highlanders. Pass in front, not getting a clean shot away there as the pass didn't find its intended recipient. As moving ahead with it is Chesson, looking to dangle by. Taken here by the Highlanders, moving ahead, dropped off by Sigsworth, and he finds Gamble, but it's intercepted there by McGinnis and moved ahead for the Highlanders. Lots of clogging there in the neutral zone for both sides. As that's dumped down in the ice for the Rebels on the forecheck. Just past the halfway point of the third period of play. 1 goal lead at 2-1 for the Highlanders here. Collins holding at the point, fired shot there from distance. Goes all the way through, but wide of that blocker side. Chipped ahead there by McHattie, but dumped back in by the Rebels as they get started, try to get started here on the cycle play in the third. Moved back out to neutral zone ice. And a Taken by Gamble, but chipped out by McGinnis into the corner. McClellan chasing after on the forecheck. Looking to take the body, or at least a head fake too. Dumped in by Heb. Chipped out, taken by Heb on the intercept, skating free. Heb intercepted there. McClellan shot, and that's a glove save from Marash. He gets the whistle here for the Rebels. 9:16 left to go here in the third. Time starting to become a factor as we move past the halfway point of the third period of play. Just a 1-goal lead for the Highlanders, but they don't want to take their foot off the gas as it's 1 goal away from tying that hockey game. 9 minutes and 16 seconds away from taking first place here going into Saturday. McGinnis looked to have got a high stick there, but out come the Rebels the other way. Chipping it ahead is Mills into the corner. Campbell on it. Shot there from distance, blocked in front by Landry. Landry gets a hold of it, backhands it around the boards for Campbell. McClellan's on there first. He avoids a hit. Fires it down in neutral zone ice, a slow one. And Phillips goes there to receive it. Phillips. Back there off the chip play, and McGregor gets that deep here for the Rebels. Landry fumbled that puck momentarily. As that's down deep. Chipped ahead there for Arsenault, looks to chase after it. Davidson moving wide, waits and shoots, and a save made. Oliver firing it around the boards. On to the point, Oliver dumps it in. Holding on to it there is James trying to clear it off the boards. Held there by Boyd trying to sweep it to the point, but it's taken now by the Rebels, moved ahead. Otway trying to dangle free, Otway to the net, shot there, save made. And a good one there by Mason Doucette. Shot there from the point, tipped on goal, rebound chance in front, they bang away. Back to the point it goes. Great chances here, Balker save there for Doucette. Rebels starting to pounce here in the third, trying to tie this hockey game and do it quickly. Still 7:23 left to go here in the third. Taken by Davidson. Davidson skates wide, waits, holds onto it and dumps it around the boards. Looking for a cycle play here as Bowie comes out wide, and that's chipped past Landry. And that's going to be icing here against the Rebels. And so a face-off taking place in their end here. 7:06 left to play in the third. And we always thank you from here at the High Button family for tuning in to these hockey games. We appreciate you coming to support live and also from home, wherever you may be, to try to support your local hockey team from a distance. And it's our joy to bring these games to you live, as they are a joy to us to watch in person here. And call as Gamble comes out to neutral zone ice. Dancing free, and that's covered by Doucette. And these games, of course, wouldn't be possible without our sponsors. Tim Hortons sponsoring this game, and as well as our silver sponsor, Steel Mac, and our presenting sponsor for the tournament, Home Hardware, and the Mac Group out of Port Hawkesbury, Port Hood, and Waikawa. So thank you to them as well. And a thank you to you at home for watching these games and supporting us at High Button Sports. As that's taken here by Cabot, moved out. Reddick moves it across to Broussard down the right wing side. He's got Reddick with him. Reddick to the goal, waits, shoots. Save made with the stick by Marash into the corner. And looking to create a rebound there was Reddick. But a good, smart play by Marash to make that soft touch into the corner and avoid a harsh rebound out front. Intercepted there on the clearing attempt there, as McGinnis looked to get in free. Backhanded off the wing there as Gamble receives that. Turning with it now, sliding it across there. Finds his man in Ty Collins. Chipped ahead, taken by McGinnis, moved across. Sigsworth chasing after it here against McGinnis. And he gets nailed by Landry on the boards. Hard physical play here near the close of this third period of play. Was near the 5-minute remaining mark as time starting to wind down here for the Rebels. Nearing that last quarter of the final frame. Plenty of hockey left to play as there's still just one goal to score on the part of the Rebels in order to tie it here. But you don't want to take your foot off the gas if you're the Cabot Highlanders. Offense is on face-off now for the Rebels. 5:30 left to play in the third. Mills back on the draw. Number 91 for the Rebels. Wins it to the wing. Mills holding possession, dropping it to Trainer. Trainer waits, drags and shoots off the crossbar and into the netting. What a ripper of a shot by Trainer. That could have been the tying goal. And it was just a hair too high as it caught the upper half of that crossbar and went into the netting, beating Doucette clean. But the Iron making the save there for the goaltender. A quick tap of the goal by the goaltender there. Close call there for the Highlanders. As a pass in front of that shot, moving, and that was blocked there with a stick. As Phillips unable to hold the line there. As the Western Rebels looking to waste no time here. And we're nearing that final quarter of the third period. They look to get things started offensively and tie this hockey game as quickly as possible. As the more pressure starts to mount as the seconds tick by and the minutes start turning to seconds at the end of this hockey game. Moving to Broussard. Broussard off the boards. Taken here. McGregor looking to dance free. Holding on to it on the left wing side. Waits and shoots. That went wide of the glove side. Flying up there on the point there. Fired in by Trainer. And taken free. Stepped into by Broussard. Broussard 1-on-2 with King. Broussard steps by. He's hooked there. And the Highlanders looking for a call on that play. They're not going to get one. Into the corner it goes. Broussard looking to get there on the forecheck. Now will come the Rebels the other way. 2-on-3 dumped in over the net. As Brett Boyd follows that up here for the Highlanders. Skating out, slides a pass ahead. King looking to touch that puck up. Icing waved off here as that's moved into the corner. Chesson behind the goal. Outlet pass, stopped up by Oliver and moved head for Cabot. Cross Chesson skating up. Holding onto it, drag move in the inside, backhand shot, save made, rebound cleared wide as it's off the boards by Reddick. And held at the line by Otway. Great play by number 55. Taken by Toombs. Shot there. That looked to have caught the Iron as well. Just on the outside of the goalpost, and that goes into the netting. Great opportunities here at the close of the period. 3:40 left to play as the Rebels start to buzz in the offensive zone, causing quite a bit of tension in the hometown crowd here. Can the Highlanders hang on for the win? Battle off the draw, taken there by the Highlanders defense, chopped at there, good pressure play. Gamble shoots, that's blocked in front. Cleared there off the boards, Landry gets it to the point there, Corbett trying to dance, and it's taken by McGinnis. He's got Davidson moving up the ice, it gets past him, Davidson skating it down, dumps it in there for the Highlanders making a simple play there to dump it in. Not looking to make too many fancy moves and just keep things in the offensive zone. Davidson after it on the forecheck. Gamble sliding a pass across. Sigsworth on it. Dump back in there for the Highlanders. Off the glass into the offensive zone. Foot race for it. Davidson getting after it. Hard hit by Davidson. Taking his man for a ride into the glass. McDonald dancing with it as he looks to dangle his way by. Holding onto it on the near wall in the offensive zone. Pinched off the puck. Davidson holding onto it. Trying to slide it to the point. Sigsworth chips that one out to Nutz's on ice. And now out come the Rebels the other way. McGinnis on the back check. Here comes Sigsworth down the wing. Holds onto that puck. He's got it on a string. Trying to slide it in front, and that goes out. McGinnis looking to get after it. He goes for a line change here as Landry retrieves that behind the goal. Full line change here for the Highlanders. Looking to dance by was Landry as that goes deep again here. Turning with it is John Hugh McGinnis. Dumped to the point, taken by Phillips. Driving a shot there that was partially blocked into the corner as Broussard gets a hold of it here. Just 2:13 left to play here in the third. Good stick check there. Soft area pass ahead. Here comes Bowie down the wing, shot and a quick pad save there for Marash. Hard hit there on the wall by Broussard, taking his man out of the play in Mills. As Bowie tries to get a hold of it, Mills follows it up, tries to sweep it through the zone. Oliver on it, dumps it off the boards, trying to find Bowie, but Trainer was there first. excuse me, Trivers, that is. Mills looking to hold it there. Gets it free. Swept in front. Good box out play here by the Cabot Highlanders. Try to keep those shots to the outside for their goaltender, but the Rebels have still been able to get a little bit to the inside and try to get some more high quality opportunities. They already caught a crossbar and a goal post in the last 2 minutes alone. So desperate to get on the board here to tie the hockey game are the Rebels and take first place in the standings themselves. And a timeout called here on the part of the Western Rebels. 1 minute, 35 seconds left to go in the period. Crucial moments here. Look for the Rebels to try to pull the goalie here late as the net is empty on the other side. But look at the crowd here in attendance lining the rails here behind the Western Rebels goal. And on the other side, of course, also lined up on those rails behind the Cabot end. So quite a few fans in attendance, choosing the closest vantage point for each goal as possible. Shaking the rattles and cheering their team on here. Quite an atmosphere here at the Port Hawkesbury Civic Center for this, the final game of this Friday of the Maritime, U16 AAA Championship. As that draw one. Goaltender is out. Extra attacker on for the Rebels. Shot there, blocked in front. Davis has got an empty net, fires it towards it, and it's wide. And that's going to be icing here against the Highlanders. Minute 20 remaining here. Pressure starting to mount. The Rebels already tied an earlier game in this Friday with a 3-3 tie against the Dukes and ended up winning that game 4-3 in overtime. So watch out for them at the late stages of this game as a wired shot from distance goes wide through the screen. Firing at there, trying to clear is McGinnis. Sigsworth holds it, tries to find the point man McFarland across there to Gamble. Drag move, shot there from distance, tips on goal, rebound chance, cleared away. Not out. Kept alive here. Mills trying to get on it. Off the boards, held at the line there by McFarland. It goes free. Davidson with a foot race here with Gamble. Trying to get that loose puck. Davidson on it. And Toombs gets a hold of it. Just 42 seconds to go behind his own goal. Looking to set things up on the wing. And skating free with it now is McFarland dumping it in for the Rebels. Just 32 seconds left here. Goalie pulled. Here they come trying to dump it in front onto the point. Moved across to Sigsworth. Holding on to it. Shooting for distance. Blocked by Davidson. He's got some tired legs on the ice though here. Turning with it. Just 18 seconds to go. Sigsworth dancing across the line. Holds on to it. Moves wide. Sigsworth behind the goal. Stopped up by Landry. Landry holding on to it. Tries to clear. He gave the puck away. Taken there and moved off by McGinnis on the line. Gamble rips a shot from the point. Save made. Rebound in front. Chasson moves behind the goal. Trying to wrap around. That stopped in front. Just 1 second to go. And that'll do it here. The Cabot Highlanders hold on for a 2-1 regulation victory here against the Western Rebels. And they will take first place in the standings going into tomorrow. Of course, stay tuned for tomorrow's games as well, as there's still the placing of the teams to take place after those games as well, as many more action coming to you live tomorrow from High Button Sports as we tune in for the player of the game for each side. And once again, a thank you to our game sponsor, Tim Hortons, for supporting local hockey. As well, a great game to close this Friday. Pillar to post action on both sides. And a nail biter till the end. Max Gamble getting the nod for player of the game for the Western Rebels. He had their lone goal in this contest in the second period.
Player of the game for your Cabot Highlanders, number 17,
Aiden McDonald getting the nod for player of the game for the Cabot Highlanders as he had that opening goal. And a team effort all around there for the Highlanders as they take the first place in the standings to go into Saturday's games. And first game on Saturday morning coming at you live 9 a.m. as the Moncton Thunderbirds take on the Eastern Dukes. That should be an interesting contest. The Dukes have yet to win a game, so that's a must-win game for them here to try to put a wrench into the standings moving forward. And so make sure to stay tuned for that. This has been Brendan Maloney from High Button Sports. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow.